Hello, good morning to all. So this is second class 11th physics laws of motion second class. Now dear learners, let me continue this chapter. So today we are going to see this motion of connected bodies. See, there are two kinds of connection bodies are there. One is vertical, another one is horizontal. Now let me see first horizontal. So look at the diagram. You can see the diagram here. The two masses, consider two blocks of masses m1 and m2. m1 is greater than m2. Look at the diagram, and for this respected free body diagram. So free body diagram means it is very easy understanding for the motion of a motion of a body through acting the force on it by using the simple diagram, that is called as a free body diagram. So look at the diagram 3.16. Mass m1 acting the two forces according to Newton's third law of motions, action which is equal to opposite reaction. So here you can look at the action, that is mass m1 acting the force, two force m1 g downward force and t, that is the upward force. Now here the t means, here the t is nothing but the tension. Tension means the force which is in the direction of the contact point, that is called as a tension. Now look at the diagram, respected diagram, you can understand the free body diagram. Now applying Newton's second law for mass m2, before going to see, look at here, as let the tension in the string be t and acceleration a. So we are taking a as acceleration, we are taking t as a tension. The system is released, both the blocks start moving. So if we release the system, the blocks are moving, which is heavier. Here the mass m1 is heavier than m2, so mass m1 will go in downward direction, and consequently mass m2 will go upward direction. So gravitational force for mass m1 will be m1g, and mass will be m1, and that will be lifting the mass m2 because of m1 is heavier than m2. Now come to the Newton's second law. Newton's second law, we know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So here the force will be t minus m2g, that is it is in the direction of y axis. So we are taking the y direction as a coordinate axis as a j. So j cap is the coordinate axis for y direction. So tj cap minus m2g j cap. So both these two force will be acting equal in opposite direction, so that t minus m2j, we are using the coordinate axis as a cap, which is equal to m2a. This also acting in, because it is a vertical case, so it is acting in y direction. Now see, this will be cancelled, jj if you take constant outside it will be cancelled. So t minus m2g, which is equal to m2a. Understand? Oh, take this equation 1. So here given equation 9, you can just understand this is equation 1. Now applying Newton's second law for mass m1, that will become as a as t minus m1g, which is equal to minus m1a, that is m1a. So here minus sign denoted the m1 moves in downward directions, so the acceleration will come as a minus j because of y axis downward direction. We know from the graph, we understand downward direction below 0, below origin it is negative, above origin it is a positive, so that we are consider downward direction as a negative, so that minus m1a here. So the next equation will come like m1g with minus t, which is equal to m1a. So we can understand here, this is m1g minus t, which is equal to m2a. So here the minus will go left hand side direction, so that it will become as a positive, and this will go in right hand side direction, so t will become as a negative, minus t. So 3.10 is nothing but equation 2. So next, adding equation 1 and 2, we will get, so here equation 1, here equation 2, both these two if you add, you will get m1g minus m2g, which is equal to m1a plus m2a. So next equation will come, we can take constant outside g, so m1 minus m2 into g, which is equal to m1 plus m2a, that is the equation 3. So equation 3, the acceleration of both the masses is, will come as a is equal to m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 whole bracket g. So g will be constant taking outside. So equation, this is the 4. Now here this equation 4 we are writing here 3.12. So here if both the masses are equal, then this will become as acceleration 0, no acceleration. Just to consider, if both the two masses are equal, then there is no acceleration, both will be retained in the same position, so no acceleration. So to find the tension acting on the string, substitute the acceleration from the equation 3.12, that is equation 4, into equation 3.9, that is equation 1. So here substitute the value, you will get t minus m2 g, which is equal to m2 a value here 3.12. So substitute here m2a in place of a, m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 whole bracket g. So t will equal to m2g will go in right hand side direction, so it will become as a positive. So m2g plus m2 into m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into bracket g. So by taking m2g common in right hand side of equation 3.13, so what will come, you can take the common by m2g here. So the equation will become like this, t is equal to m2g into 1 plus taking constant outside, so it will become as 1 plus m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So here again t is equal to m2g, so here we are make cross multiply m1 plus m2 into m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So again the last equation will come, t is equal to 2 into m1 into m2. So here the value of 2 m1 will become as a 2 m1, m1 plus m1, 2 m1 will come here, and m2 minus m2 will cancel. So here that divided by m1 plus m2. So this m2 which is in outside the bracket, it will go in inside the bracket. So 2 into m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 whole bracket g. So this is the final equation for understanding in vertical direction how the mass, so this vertical direction how the mass will be difference. So what will be the tension, both these two tension T, it will become as a final relation as a T is equal to 2 m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into g. Similarly, come to know what is the acceleration for the mass m1 for the mass m2. So as we know, acceleration vector for the mass m1 will be in the negative direction, so that the same equation 3.12 will become as a minus m1 minus m2 divided by m1 plus m2, and for mass m2 that is going up above direction, upward direction, so that it is a positive, that is the same equation 3.12 will come here because of y direction for the graphical representation, so it will come as a coordinate axis j. Understand? Okay, now come to see horizontal motion. So similar how we are seeing just now as a vertical direction, yes, similarly we are going to discuss the horizontal direction. So here we are consider m2 mass that is kept on the horizontal table, and mass m1 will be hanging through a small pulley as shown in the figure here. So here assume that there is no friction on the surface, so block is horizontal. Now come to see this. So downward gravitational force m2g for this mass m2 is a downward gravitational force for these are all the force. It's a totally 3 forces are acting on the body. So upward normal force n exerted by surface, the surface will be exerted on upward direction according to Newton's third law of motion. And the third point, horizontal tension T exerted by the string. Here the horizontal tension T will be exerted on the body as horizontal direction. So the forces acting on mass m1, so mass m1 that is hanging, What are the forces? Only two forces are acting: downward gravitational force m1g, that is downward direction, and upward tension force, that is the upward force, the tension force acting on the mass m1. So here for free body diagram, it is analysis for easy understanding of free body diagram. You can see motion of an object, directions, you can understand this easily. So in the diagram 3.18, it is given for the horizontal motion of a block. For this diagram, respected diagram given as a free body diagram here. So applying Newton's second law for mass m1, that is kept that is hanging on the downward direction. So what will be the Newton's second law? Here T minus m1g, which is equal to minus m1a, because already you know how minus is coming, because it is a downward direction, so that minus sign will come. So this is 3.14 equation. Now next to T is equal to here m1, this we know about applying Newton's second law for m2. This is for m1. Now come to this is for m2. T is equal to m2a. So m2a is the for mass m2. Now for mass m1, it is becomes T minus m1g, which is equal to minus m1a. Now come to this is the for normal direction, as two forces for y-axis, above and downward direction, it is cancelled each other, so that it will become as a comparing components on both sides. We are comparing the components on the both these two sides, n minus m2g. So n will be the normal force, m2g will be the downward force that is going in downward direction. That is a frictionless table is there, that will be acting the force downward direction. So n minus m2g, which is equal to 0. So n is equal to m2g. Understand? Very simple. It is for m2. m2 is having in the kept on the table, so it is also acting the force. So most of the times we are misunderstanding about, if you put a things on the table, or if a body it is in the rest condition, there is no force acting on them. It is wrong. Actually the force is acting, the two forces. If any body is put in the rest condition, one force in the downward direction, another force in upward direction. So similarly here given for m2, n minus m2g, which is equal to 0. N is the above force, that is a normal force. m2g is the weight force, weight, that is the m2g here. So by comparing the equation here, as n is equal to m2g, that will become one of the equation. So next you can see as m2a minus m1g, which is equal to m1a, from equation 3.15 we can substitute equation 3.14. So here 3.15 is looking T is equal to m2a, that value is substitute here in equation 3.14. so that will become as a m2a minus m1g is equal to minus m1a. So m2a plus m1a, which is equal to m1g. So the minus sign will go left hand side direction, so that it will become as a positive, and positive sign will go in right hand side direction, that will become as a negative. So if you shuffle the equation, it will come as constant a, which is equal to m1 divided by m1 plus m2 into g. So this is equation 3.17, the final equation for acceleration in the second case. Now this acceleration value substitute here in equation 3.15. So here 3.15, here given T is equal to m2a, so T is equal to m2a, a value here in 3.17, so it will become as a m1, this is m2, m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into g. So this is the final relation for horizontal motion on the block, as what will be the tension acting on the block. So this is the final relation. So comparing motions in both sides, it is clear that the tension in the string for horizontal motion is half of this tension for vertical motion for same set of masses and string. Same set of masses and string we are taking here. So m2, m1. So here what is the difference for vertical and horizontal? Only half of the tension for vertical motions. Here it will become as a half. So look at here, the final relation, half is there, two times are there. So this is becomes a without coming 2 here. So m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2g, here coming say 2 into m1 m2 by m1 plus m2 into g. So what is the difference? 2 times for the horizontal motions it will give you as a vertical motion the tension value. So this is the one of the importance for 11th physics, the third chapter, laws of motion, important questions for the block that is moving in horizontal and vertical direction. Next question, this is concurrent force and Lami's theorem. This is very simple. So concurrent means the collection of force is said to be concurrent. So the collection of force, it is very simple. You can look at the diagram. The collection of three forces is there, F1, F2, F3. This is the collection of force is denoted by concurrent force. And for understanding Lami's theorem, we have to understand the concurrent force. So if a system of three concurrent and coplanar forces is in equilibrium, coplanar means the plane, the force is acting on the plane surface, that is called as a coplanar force. And Lami's theorem states that the magnitude of each force of the system is proportional to sine of the angle between the other two forces. Look at the diagram 3.20. Three forces are there, F1, F2, F3. All the three forces are perpendicular to each other. So if you find the one force, that will give you the proportional to the sine of the angle between the other two forces. So F1 which is equal to sine alpha. So look at the diagram, angle between F3 and F2 give you alpha, angle between F3 and F1 given as a angle beta, force between F1 and F2 given the angle beta. So this is alpha, beta, gamma is a given as a gamma. So a force F1 which is the proportional to the sine of angle between other two forces. So other two forces here F2 and F3, that is the angle given alpha. So likewise we have to find in for F2 which is the proportional to sine of as other two forces beta. So similarly for a force F3 which is proportional to the sine of other two forces as a gamma. So all these three forces are equal, that is the Lami's theorem is very useful to analyze the forces acting on object which are in the static equilibrium, as it is in the static, not kinetic, static equilibrium. It is very useful. Okay, with this enough.